Hello, lore heads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the fiery fledgling Smolder, who was released January 31st, 2024. Or at least John and I are talking about it. Mark got ready for the Victor episode.
Yeah. I did a bit of an oopsie. In my defense, when we made the decision, and I said this before we started recording, I was drunk. And so I really didn't remember that at the end of that other episode, we said, hey, let's do Smolder, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember that.
Mark came prepared to talk about the foot god himself.
The Foot King? Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a
reference from our Arcane episode.
Oh. God, you were really prepared. He was re-listening to the Jace episode and everything.
I've forgotten it. Well, yeah.
It's all right.
Well, you know, we'll save it. But yeah, I did read it. Just like just now. So like
Yeah.
it's fresh. It's in my brain. Yeah.
Yeah, Smolder's a brand new little dragon boy. On the universe page, he only has a bio, which is expected now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll get more at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Okay, so I mean, you can tell me because I've only worked off the universe page just now. He doesn't have anything else. I know he's got his little release trailer that came out. Like,
Yeah, he's got nothing.
see, this is the concerning part, right? Is that like when they said, "Hey, we're not doing the stories anymore," it was supposed to be that because we're gonna do these other things,
Right.
But
We want to come up with new
just
compelling ways to tell the lore by not telling it.
Yeah, and then they fired like half the lore team, it fucking sounds like. So,
Yeah, it didn't help.
So
no.
Man, you know what I just
Yeah.
found the other day? Just off topic because this is a short episode anyway,
Sure.
but I was cleaning out my drive and I found my original submission for the creative team.
Yeah, John did apply
Interesting.
to be on the lore team.
Yeah, they had you do they had you create a champion from scratch, and then they also would give you they gave you a picture of a champion, and they were like, does this champion have a compelling visual design? And then they'd show you another champion. You'd have to explain why and everything, and they'd show you a different unreleased champion. Be like, what do you think the hook for this champion is? And it was pretty neat.
Wow.
that sounds like a lot of fun to just do as like an exercise.
Right? Like,
I
can
don't
we
know,
just do that
like
game?
It kind of is. I'll pull it up later. It's kind of fun.
I'm really curious. Yeah,
I like reread it. I was like, oh, neat.
yeah. I want to
so
see what you
creative.
created. Yeah, so I get gas. They fucked up. I want to see what your champion is. I'm really curious now.
Honestly, the champion I created was a Noxian pit brawler that had a lot of, now that I'm looking at it, a lot of similarities with what they ended up doing with Set. But
Interesting.
Oh, nice. Well, you're onto something then.
They recorded it. There was a little recording of all these pitches. They never were actually hiring. They just needed these people to come in and give them free ideas.
They've got that, big brain, right?
I
I like that. I like that. Reach into the big bucket of applications. What's our next champion gonna be? Pit brawler. I like it.
yeah, my guy had a few more wrestling moves than Set had, though. I kind of thought he could have kind of like a displacement similar to like a Zangief from
Sure.
Street Fighter.
I mean,
thought that'd be pretty cool.
the
Which
Set
I
ult
guess his ult
is
is, yeah.
yeah. Like sounds like you got it in one, man.
Honestly, too, I had pitched a gap closing punch. That, I mean, I was like, oh yeah, like Balrog from Street Fighter is kind of what I was thinking with that, which they ended up using for Vi.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they put all their favorite ideas, they wrote them down, they mixed them all up in a bowl.
They're just reaching around and gap closing punch. Okay.
Okay, we'll make a champion based off that. And that's how John created Arcane.
Okay. Oh.
Well, all right. What does Smolder sound like, everybody?
Well, we were just talking about this. He sounds like a little baby boy.
He just sound like a little baby boy. I was looking at the quotes, and I wish I could do a game of is that Smolder or is that John? Because several of the quotes gave me John vibes, and I picked one of the ones that gave me the most John vibes.
I love it.
And it's when you're shopping. And
Okay.
Smolder's in the shop. Look at all the stuff and things.
I do say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
Literally,
it.
you'll be like, oh, there's so much stuff and things.
Did you voice Smolder? Is this where we're like? Did you come in and do a little Smolder via? Well, I just looked at him. I smell people. I can't really do a little baby boy
I can't really
voice.
do a
I'm
little
sorry.
baby boy voice either.
I dreamed that I was chasing bugs and rolled down a hill, but then the bugs were a city, and, well, I squished it.
Oh. I like
Yeah.
how many quotes are a dialogue between him and his mom, and obviously his
Right.
mom's just like roaring at him, and he's just like
Yeah.
having an actual conversation with her.
I have a fun fact about that, too.
Ooh.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. I'm curious. It's interesting because like when I saw his release trailer thing, my immediate thought was like, oh, so it's this new, right? So the fact that he's got this other big thing that just roars back to him and back and forth dialogue is kind of funny. I kind of like that. Those two should hang out, Smolder and Nunu.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
But
They
can
would
he
really get
melt
along.
true ice?
Oh, they could sit there and try. That would be great. You cheat in the snowball fight by melting them. Oh man, this is kind of good. I kind of like this.
This is adorable.
Mom, he hit me.
Right?
And she doesn't care. She's like, oh. All right. Well, let's get through Smolder's bio. All right. I can't open this the way I normally do because the first like half of Smolder's bio is a history of dragons in general, which is very important because as far as we know, dragons are just things we murder in heaps for buffs. So
I think you mean the enemy team murders in heaps for buffs. And we watched them do
I
it, and it's like,
can't
huh?
even dispute that. I feel like our last few Rift games, it was just like, oh, they got another Drake. Oh, they got
No, you
all
had
four
a,
of
you
them.
had a
As long
killer.
as we
Did you
stop
have a
them from
killer
getting-
steal?
I had one steal as Lulu, I think, which was pretty,
Yeah, very
really
recently.
funny. I don't even think I was trying to steal it. I was just trying to fuck with them.
Someone else got a good steal recently, too. Was it you, Mark? Someone
No,
did.
I guarantee I did not steal a dragon.
All right. Well, anyway, dragons lived in what would eventually become Camivore. When humans showed up, they didn't get along for a really long time until the first king of Camivore bowed to the dragon matriarch, Grandmother Viper, and asked to join forces, more or less. They swore an oath that lasted a really long time. The dragons were loyal to the throne and I'm quoting here, high houses that pass the trials and perform the sacred rites of the oath. And I don't know what the fuck that means. But they were
the sacred
also
rites.
really into those people. In turn, the dragons were given livestock and lots of treasure, and all was well until Viego. He went to the Imperial Dragons. What are those? I don't know. They mentioned kind of at this point in the bio that Imperial Dragons are stronger. I don't know.
I guess.
And we don't know what that means, what distinction there is between regular dragons and Imperial ones.
I feel like all the ones there were the Imperial Dragons.
That's kinda
but
what I
they were
assume
just the
is,
ones
like-
that were left because they had kind of dwindled over time.
Like the ones that are in service or allied with the
okay.
Camivore Empire or
Yeah.
Kingdom, whatever.
But then, like, why does it take so long for another one to be born? I don't.
That's a good question.
They
That
just
part
don't fuck
I don't
a
know.
lot. I don't know. Anyway,
Maybe they sold all the eggs as part of him trying to find a cure.
probably.
You know that would yeah.
Anyway, he went to the Imperial Dragons, asked them to go to the Blessed Isles with him. They knew he was a damn idiot, though, and refused. But they all still suffered during the ruination, and a lot of dragons didn't make it. There's no more Imperials left, I guess, and no more throne to protect. So finally, after many centuries, an Imperial Dragon was born. Smolder! Just an Imperial Dragon in what was once Camivore. His mother often had to leave him behind for a long time to hunt, and this allowed some Noxians to steal and sell. Poor little Smolder. I know. They didn't get very far, though, because Smolder's mother found their ship and burned it down, but Smolder was lost in the fire and swept away to an island not far from Noxus. He lived there for a while, hunting the wildlife until he found a human child named Marinos. Marinos, they were secret friends. Marinos taught Smolder how to talk, but he grows faster than Smolder. So Smolder was still a little kid. Marinos became a man, had less time for silly dragon games. So Smolder got bored and tried to be tried to breathe fire. He started a forest fire, but that just what his mom needed to go and find him. I don't know if she was swarming every fire that she saw. She's near Noxus, so there's gotta be a lot. Gotta be a lot.
Which is a good survival tip, folks. If you're lost in the forest, start a forest fire.
Oh my God!
Your mother dragon will come.
Forest fires.
Do it. Smoking Bear will come kick your ass, and then they'll know where you are. It's good.
So Smolder's mom found him, scooped him up, and now they live together, where she can teach him how to be a proper dragon instead of this weird talking dragon thing who doesn't know how to breathe fire or fly. But hopefully they're hoping one day to return to Camivore, bring it back to his former glory. And I recommend they start by eating Viego, who's imprisoned there. Just gobble him up. Wouldn't that be so funny if that was his end?
Right.
The dragons all go back there and Smolder's mom is just like, hang on one second.
You're just making it Shrek. You're just going to make him a little like Lord Farquaad.
There should be a 1% chance that when Smolder does his achoo, like a Blade of the Ruined King pops out.
That would be pretty funny. I kind of like that. Yeah.
That was Smolder. Yeah.
It was Smolder. Well done. Well done.
I'm curious. I mean, even beyond the point of why it took so long for more Imperial Dragons to be born, I'm curious why they're still going by the term Imperial Dragons. It doesn't seem like there's now much of an empire to...
Maybe it is a different breed or whatever, species or whatever you want to say of dragons. I don't know. Dragons are a big kind of like...
They exist in a lot of places in a lot of different ways, and we don't get a lot about any of them.
Specifics, yeah.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to release something with Smolder that wasn't a short story, sort of something to do with dragons would have been good and smart. Dude. Sort of like a little map of where dragons were or used to be and what kinds of dragons there were. Because up until this point, we really haven't seen like any dragons in lore except like Shyvana like, being an exception. So I think that would have been good. Well, he's a space dragon. That doesn't fucking count.
I mean, it could be interesting. I guess what I like the idea. I would love that. You know that San Angelo's like field guide to Vestaya or whatever that we see sometimes. Something an in-universe like an introduction to dragon biology or whatever, right? Like
by Smolder's little friend.
Oh yeah, maybe he that's what he got really into after being friends with Smolder. Now
because he apparently knew a lot about dragons before meeting Smolder because he taught Smolder. Smolder didn't know he could breathe fire until his friend told him, like, you know, dragons breathe fire, right?
Well, I think for him, he said it was like in his story. So I feel like I don't think he's a dragon expert. We all also know that dragons breathe fire and aren't dragon
I'm a bit of a dragon expert, so.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm more of a dragon journeyman. I don't know. Novice.
Greenfoot.
Yeah, I guess with all this, it's interesting that they're expanding on a newer region, Camivore. And I think they did it in a way that works well. Like, you add Viego in there because you have to. And it's not anything that makes Viego stuff not make sense anymore, I guess. Like, it's fine. But there are still way too many questions that we're all asking. Just about, like, everything else outside of that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right. It's Why not go a little bit extra? Just a little bit more.
A little more. Like what an Imperial dragon is, for instance.
Sure. Yeah. What's the deal with dragons in general? Like, just broadly, right?
Yeah.
What does Shyvana and her dead mom think of these Camivore dragons? Are they like, oh, those hill...
Yeah.
Like, does one see the other as like, oh, those East Coast dragons? We don't really like to interact with them. They think they're so much better than us.
I think the Camivore drakes would be the East Coast dragons, right? Like, they're hoarding all their wealth and, yeah. Or maybe they're like the LA dragons. Maybe it's the opposite. They're like the bougie dragons.
Well, not anymore.
Well, no, not anymore, but they were.
Yeah, right? A little bit of humble pie.
Right. I wonder what Nyla's whole country thinks about dragons, because...
Are they well, they're intelligent, so I don't know if she would see them as monsters or not.
Well, the thing is, like, it said that they were loyal to the throne.
Oh, true.
And, like, you know, promised to back them. And we also know that Camivore was just attacking the shit out of Nyla's country. So
they probably wouldn't like those dragons.
She's probably not a fan. Probably not big on dragons.
That's why she
The
hunts
Smolder?
monsters.
You know, that I kind of wait. It's. I think like you said, Rebecca, I like them expanding on Camivore a bit more. If it's going to be something that exists in the world, let's treat it like that. Let's give it some due diligence. But I would kind of like some of these changes, like you said, just permeate them out a bit more. It would be great to bake some of that into the Nyla stuff, kind of retroactively a little bit. But still, fuck it. Does Smolder have any interactions with Nyla or anything like that? I'm sure not, right?
I don't
see any
think
with Nyla.
so. No.
That seems. He was intended for bot lane, right? Like, so he's gonna encounter her,
right?
That's true. I forget about Nilo a lot, and yeah, you're right. I mean, she's right next to Camivore.
Probably.
I think so as well, which is sad. Because I mean, yeah, now thinking about it, like, I mean, Camivore was known as like invading other places, but like, why was their army so strong? And now we have like an answer to that. They fucking dragons fighting with them. That's pretty massive, and like. That seems like a bit of a war crime. Just a little bit. Like, that's an advantage that no one else is going to have. So, yeah. Neela would be very affected by that. Assume all of her people would be really affected by the fact that they regularly got, like...
raided
by dragons.
They got fucking pwned by elite dragons.
God.
Yeah, right. You would kind of expect that she would want to fucking kill Smolder. I guess it's hard because Smolder is like kind of technically a little child, and it's hard to like, you know, to want to have. I think Neela, they don't want to be not like a villain, but to have her want to kill a little kid is hard. It's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not strong enough for her to fight.
She might not necessarily want to, like, you know, she might see that the dragons have gotten their punishment.
That's true, that's true.
I guess from the ruination, just is that what I think they were already dwindling, and I don't know why. That's another thing that they just kind of say and don't really explain in this bio, is that their numbers were dwindling when Viego came to them, but they don't explain why that was, which I like the idea that it is because they align themselves with the throne in some way. That could have been. Sure. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, even if there was some sort of other thing causing, like, you know, something tied into why it took so long for a new one to be born. Like, for some reason, their birth rates are declining and they can't figure it out. They don't know why.
Yeah, right? I don't understand that at all.
Magical curse or some shit.
So it mentioned that they've been kind of, not necessarily, like, subservient, but, like, you know, they've had an alliance for, they said, like, generations, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a way, I could see them becoming pretty domesticated in a way, because they've been provided with not just riches, but it said they were provided food.
Yeah, they never had to hunt anymore.
They didn't have to hunt anymore. And then when, even before Camivore went to the Blessed Isles, when he squandered all of his country's riches trying to find cures, like, there was probably no more food going into the dragons for a while, and they probably didn't even know how to hunt anymore at that point. I mean, sure, it's kind of easy to. You've got flame breath. You'll figure it out.
You're a dragon, but well, you know, I like that aspect. That's something I didn't even think about. Yeah. But I would kind of love if that was something that. I wish we had maybe more of Smolder's mom almost, because she's like a sentient, full, proper being character, and she's still alive and interacting with him. And it would be great if like. Some of the lessons she was trying to impart on him were reflective of that, of like there was so much weakness that we built that grew around us and that caused us to have this massive problem, so now you need to be super tough. And she's like, really, I don't know, I think like helicopter, like not tiger mom or something like that, you know, it's like something that's really intense, dragon mom, I guess we'll say, you know, whatever. Something that's like,
he does literally make a comment about her. Why are you hovering over me all the time?
Yeah. So you know, and
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I guess if you're gonna write a story for Smolder or do something with him, doing something with his mom and getting into that relationship more could be fun, because maybe he's more like what's his name from Finding Nemo? The dad. What's his name?
Oh, Marlin.
Yeah. You know. Smolder got lost, and now she found Smolder again. So maybe she'd be really overprotective of him, you know? It's like...
That makes sense. That's really cute. I like the Finding Nemo comparison. I really wonder how long it felt to her, because it was, like, probably decades that they were separated, although he's obviously still very, very young. But But I am curious, does it feel like decades to a dragon, or is that something that felt
That's a good
shorter?
question.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but I think they've laid all the groundwork for what you're saying, Mark, because when Smolder was alone, he did know how to hunt because of his mom. That was something that he probably learned first. So, yeah, I think I like the explanation we're coming up with here, and it would have been nice
Sure.
if that was
Something-
also there.
It it's funny I mentioned the Nunu thing earlier because I want like a scene like Nunu had with Leica with his mom, where she's just telling him stories and he's kind of reflecting back to her in his own little kid way, of like, but hers would just be all roars. You wouldn't get all the poetic like storyteller shit that you got with Nunu's mom. It'd just be a bunch of roaring and then Smolder, be like, but really, did we really have to, whatever, you know what I mean?
I like
You
the
catch my
idea that
drift.
they're speaking two different languages and neither of them can understand each other.
They're just pretending.
Yeah, like he doesn't actually speak dragon language, and she doesn't know Noxian or whatever he learned.
What do you want? You want more? You want more Smolder?
Oh no, that's just what we're doing all the time, huh? More what? More what?
More
You're doing
what?
the more thing, and I don't know. Now you're pointing to the bathroom. What do you want more of?
Are you done, or do you want more? Because you just said both. So
Now, another interesting short story I'd like to see here, too, is they mentioned that there was a handful of the dragons that still survive, which bore witness to, all the neglect in Camivore, and are now just roosting within the castle because they know that there's not going to be any royalty living there anymore. I would really like a short story with maybe some people who had heard of Camivore, right? They knew that there was a kingdom, they knew that it was rich and powerful, and then...
This is a group that's like spend a night in an abandoned asylum, and they're like spend a night in the abandoned Camivore castle.
Well, I was thinking they get part of the story, right? They know there's a powerful kingdom, they know they had a lot of money and wealth, and then they know that seemingly overnight the king and the kingdom disappeared. And I bet there are lots of parts in the world that are like, and his treasure is still there to this day. And I'd like to see the story of just like some raiders going to Camivore and checking out the castle and then finding just a shit ton of dragons just fucking roosting there in
Sure.
Smolder.
So
it'd be kind of... go ahead.
I was just gonna ask where they all were during the Ruination, or the Ruin King, rather.
Well, see, they
Rise
hadn't
of the Sentinels.
released-
Sorry, I just say all the fucking names at the same time. I know they hadn't
don't worry.
really seen it, but they go to
Say, because the answer's the
Camivore
same.
to lock up Viego.
They were on lunch break.
Right.
Oh,
They'd
I
found
also
out.
don't think they would be happy to see Viego there. Like if they knew he was there,
Oh, no.
they for sure
You really
know who
fucked up
Viego
their
is.
shit.
They'd probably just eat him.
Like, hey, we don't get food anymore because of you, so now you're food.
He wouldn't be very.
Well, I'm a
I-
ghost,
almost-
so
Yeah, those hot cross buns though, delicious. It's almost Easter,
It's
everybody.
almost Easter. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say maybe some of Smolder's story would be like him preparing to kind of go Simba go take control over the
Get Pride
wait,
Rock
'cause-
back. Yeah.
Get Pride Rock back, yeah, because maybe there's some dragons there who tell them don't want them to come around. Fuck off. We're the Imperial dragons now. Yeah. So there's a lot. I think there's just there's a lot you could do.
Are they not
Yeah, well-
Imperial dragons? The ones who were left?
Maybe.
But,
They probably are.
they're,
Yeah,
the,
they probably
they're the
are.
ones who were there the whole time. Smolder left.
No, he was
doesn't
not
deserve
born
Pride
there.
Rock.
His mother left. I don't know. Did other dragons leave? Where are they?
I mean, you have,
And that's how
you have
Shyvana
search
came
me,
to be.
right? Yeah.
All right. Wow.
I liked that. So they said after he started that forest fire, it said, he was carried away from the growing inferno by the scruff of his neck. Smolder soared, his first time experiencing the world as dragons should. Which was cool and all, but no more info on the forest fire he just started and his best friend for his whole life who was just living there.
I don't know if he still lived there. I'm sure he's fine.
It said specifically that he was trying to start the fire so that he could show his friend how he could breathe fire.
See, that was kind of the thing I was surprised that when that happened, that he wasn't like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck's going on? I guess maybe he recognizes his mom, but it's been decades.
I don't
maybe
know.
it was like a year
I feel
for
like
a
if
dragon.
I left Poppy for a week and came back, she wouldn't know who the fuck I was. So.
I don't know. But he's to the point of talking too. Like he's like what? He's like 7 or 8 or some shit. Like in human years.
It was going to get darker too when he started that fire. When he started breathing fire, I thought he was going to burn down his friend's village.
He may have.
Very well may have.
I feel like that would be a really good addition, not to be sad, but yeah.
I'd like to see Marinos go after Smolder. I don't know, in the way that like his mom was searching for him because he's lost. Now Marinos wants to go find his dragon friend, and what happens if he does find him? You know. Maybe
that would be interesting because as of right now, Marinos doesn't really serve anything except that he taught Smolder how to talk so we can understand him.
Yeah, it's kind of helpful. I mean, it is nice, I suppose. Although it seems to, I'm sure it just fucked things up for his mom. It's like, great, awesome. Now he's speaking this fucking human language. If only he could roar, it'd be so much simpler. But, yeah,
I do like too that the plan is to go back to Camivore to usher in a new golden age for Camivore.
Yeah, why?
Like,
What's so special there?
Like?
And why do they want to go there?
There's not a lot there anymore.
It's just like it is where their people are from, so like I understand that they might want to go back, but they've also been away for generations at this point too, so and they can go back now. Like it's not like. I don't know.
You're right. They could go back now. Why not? So that's why you would establish that, like, oh, there's these other dragons, or the dragons that are there think that, like maybe she was the last of the proper imperial dragons, and he's like a little deposed prince, right? That's you know, that's something you could do, I suppose.
Aragorn.
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
By the way, we didn't mention it. This is by Tristana Atanasowski.
Oh.
Did the bio. That was all the notes I had for the bio.
Oh, okay.
I had a thought, but it has just exited. It just like flap out of my brain. So I think I'm good.
Like Smolder flapping in the wind.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. My brain just like completely farted on that one. That's okay. There's a lot. I think that the sense I'm getting with it is like there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of story avenues you could kind of go down.
They're setting it up to be a cool place to explore for the MMO.
Sure.
Maybe dragon, like, you know, figuring out stuff about the dragons will be a whole quest. Right?
You know what?
Right, guys?
Sure.
Right, guys?
Fuck it.
It's all written. Let's
just hope.
All happening.
Let's not be cynical anymore. Let's just hope against hope, right? Yeah.
There's some quotes that I wanted to bring some attention to here. So first of all, we mentioned Smolder's roars. They are intelligible in Draconic. What did I say?
You said Smolder's roars.
Oh yeah, Smolder's mom's roars are intelligible in Draconic, and translations were provided by the writer of the story for several of the quotes. So he's got one that says, I didn't write all of them down, just a few of my favorites, but I'm so hungry, I could eat a whole bunch of grumps. And then the mom roars in something saying, don't eat the grumps. Fine. And then there's a mom roar, which means, be careful out there, honey.
Aww.
Why'd you gotta hover over me all the time? I can take care of myself. Also, Smolder refers to Camivore as Camaroar.
Yeah, is it John or Smolder? Who said it?
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
And Smolder's mom's voice is a digital mix of various real animal voices. And certain sound effects for Smolder are also incorporated into those sounds.
Oh.
Neat.
Cute.
And dumb bullfrog is it's an expression for Smolder that is akin to him swearing. So
Wait, what? Oh, that's like something he says.
Bullfrog.
yeah, dumb bullfrog. That's like
Like shut the front door. Like
yeah. Fiddlesticks. Except you can't say that here. That means something else.
Yeah, it's just
maybe that's like a
Usually
really
said with-
offensive
that's like
swear.
a really bad swear. Yeah,
whoa,
kids say
dog.
it. They all meet up and they whisper it to each other.
He said the F word. Only I didn't say fuck. Said thief.
You reference that Christmas storyline so much more than anyone should.
Yeah, I kind of love it. I don't know.
It's really good.
C plus.
We do that one all the time.
Because we're stacking those C pluses in the post game
We'll
results.
do it
Let me
if we
tell
ever
you.
get applause. D plus. That's what
Oh man.
Y'all want to hear about
his AU.
a single AU?
Sure, I'm not gonna look it
yeah.
up. I know what this is like.
This one is Lunar New Year Heaven Scale. In order to better know their kingdom's subjects, draconic royalty and retinue descend from their palace in the sky, taking on human forms and reveling with the mortals as they usher in the new year. This one is Heaven Scale Smolder. The youngest member of the royal family and cousin to the prince, Smolder likes nothing more than to tag along on any adventures Lee Sin gets up to. He may have missed the part of the plan that involves disguising himself as a human, but hey, he'll show them that dragons don't need to dress up to be the life of the party.
I want to see what his human disguise would have looked like.
Right? Actually, I don't want to. After seeing fucking Ziggs and Heimerdinger's human disguises, I don't want to see.
Now I want to see it more than ever.
Although I am playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now, and I saw Red 13's human disguise. Fucking golden.
I have no idea, but I bet you it looks similar.
So good.
Man, what timing for Smolder, though, with everything. You're the dragon, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a whole year.
It's like the Chinese New Year. Year of the dragon.
Oh, Year of the Dragon. I thought you said something just
Oh, no.
else.
It's my year, baby.
Yeah,
I'm a
Yakuza
dragon.
like a dragon, baby.
I thought you said you're at the dragon, baby. I was like, oh,
You're
is there a
at the
dragon in Final
dragon,
Fantasy
baby.
VII that I'm not like aware of?
I have no idea.
There's a lot
Probably.
of dragons in Final Fantasy VII.
I only played some of that original one back in like 2006 or something.
You played a decent amount. You made it
It
through
was
it.
before I met you. I think. Right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, my ex gave it to me.
I'm trying to remember if I had you play on the PC or not afterwards. Who knows?
I don't know. Anywho.
Want some fun facts?
Yes.
Some fun facts? Mm-hmm. Smolder is voiced by Georgie Cordova Kidder.
Nice. Great last name. For
Right?
The
The dogs of various rioters were sampled for Smolder sound effects. So, Rob King Cobra Rose's dog, Hagen, was used for his auto attacks and achoo. And Daniel K. Dan Kim's dog, Simba, was used for his emotes and flap, flap, flap.
interesting.
I'm about to really listen for it next
Right.
time.
So Smolder during development, everyone's got their like code names during development. Smolder was coded as Young Dragon in development, which was abbreviated as YD. And because YD sounded to several like a rapper's name, a member of the development team wrote several verses for him, and his concept artist Usama Whitelaith Agazum drew his album cover art.
Holy shit! I gotta check that out.
It's on Twitter, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It's pretty good.
He spits hot fire. Good job, Riot.
That's got to be one of the lines in his songs, right?
I don't even think it. I'll be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of the bars, but you know, I bet that.
John's got to do his own now.
I was gonna say Falcon
true.
Shields. Get on it.
No,
Sure.
you got to do it. You're the one who talks shit.
That's true. I gotta back it up. Smolder is bilingual, able to speak both Draconic and human. His mother primarily speaks with him in Draconic in order for him to not lose touch with his cultural ancestry. And this was based on the writer's experience of not growing up bilingual and not being able to connect with her father on a level that he would have been more comfortable communicating in.
Aww.
Mm.
So he speaks Draconic and human?
Her dad?
You know.
Yeah.
No! Smolder!
It did say Draconic and human, which is...
It says human languages here. They mean most
Probably like
human languages?
Noxian, right?
Yeah, my guess would be Noxian,
I would
since everyone
assume.
kind of has their own.
Yeah. Anyway.
Smolder's one of 15 champions that have an ability that infinitely stacks an effect.
Oh, you got to add to that recently.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Which means that every other fun fact before
They're
this
all
is
wrong.
wrong
We're
now.
going to have to revisit
Delete
them.
the episodes.
Don't at
yeah.
me. And Smolder's dance emote references a popular meme of the toothless dragon from How to Train Your Dragon.
I was getting, How to Train Your Dragon vibes.
Sure. Yeah.
Now that's Smolder.
How's everyone doing?
I feel like I poured too
okay.
much alcohol for how long I knew this episode was going to be.
Oh, yeah, you're still drinking it. I didn't even bother. I was like, I don't need
That's
wine
probably-
for
I'm
this.
going into
Smart.
this one stone sober, baby.
Sober.
God bless you.
Got my water.
I can't do it. I can't.
You can't do it.
I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know. I feel kind of bad that I had a little brain fart on the Smolder thing, but that's fine.
You were celebrating in the last episode. You had to drink that whole bottle of champagne.
It's true.
Right? Who else is gonna drink it?
If not you, who?
I mean,
You
I
know what's
Sarah
funny is
would've.
when I was like setting up, right, and we bought 2 bottles of champagne because Sarah wanted some, and just like I wasn't thinking, I was like racing to get all stuff set up, so I just grabbed both bottles and just brought them in with me. Sarah's like, why did you bring 2? I was like, I don't know, man. My brain not work so good.
I was feeling ambitious.
Right. I certainly didn't want to just pass out in my chair. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so, Smolder is a good setup for several stories that I would like to, but probably will never see.
Yeah.
But,
Can't wait to see him
make
in
up
the
for it in the
MMO.
MMO, and
Yeah.
we'll forgive you.
Sure. I like that.
Man, he's not even in the new TFT set as far as I know.
No.
Actually, it's weird. I'll have to double check that, actually, because the new TFT set is something that Heaven Scale Smolder would actually fit perfectly into, so I'll have to he might actually be in it, and I just didn't see. I'll have to double check.
Okay.
There is
I'm gonna
a new
assume he's not.
character.
Like like someone who's not a champion.
Yeah, there's a new Yordle that was invented just for TFT
Oh, yeah,
for the
yeah,
new
yeah.
set.
Ooh,
saw
what's
that.
are they in Runeterra at all? So
I don't think so.
interesting.
Yeah, let me see real quick.
Guys, stop getting distracted. We have so much to talk about.
We gotta get. Is TFT included in the one consistent universe thing these days? Because I know they dip into the AUs a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they dip
Was
into
curious.
the AUs. In fact, it's primarily AU. There are very few sets that are not AUs.
Aren't.
Usually
Yeah.
So I would definitely consider them not canon.
Okay. Sure. Makes sense. Interesting.
Until I see a fucking Pengu or like a golden spatula as a purchasable item in League.
Okay. I mean, you might careful what you wish for. You might just see that. They got those golden spatulas in Runeterra, man.
All
Tell you what.
so this guy's name is Kobuko.
I like the name.
Yeah, Kobuko.
He's a cute, chubby Yordle.
He is a cute, chubby Yordle.
I'll have to check him out.
Well, that was Smolder.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Sorry, it was a short one, but I think this is just going to happen with new champs lately, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We had
have
fun.
We'll make up for it
Yeah.
by doing Victor next week, which will be
yeah.
absurdly long, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We have a Twitch, twitch.tv/Lawrheads. John streams on Saturdays generally. He does TFT and ARAMs with viewers. Sometimes Mark and I join for the ARAMs, not the TFT. We don't do that. We're not fucking nerds. I am trying to stream Summoner's Rift on Mondays with John, Mark, maybe our friend Mike. Maybe Heart when he joins with some buddies. I did play some games by myself during the last stream. It was weird.
Yeah, sorry.
But kind of fine. No, it was okay. It was chill.
I didn't want to disturb you.
You didn't want to disturb
Too
me.
late.
Yeah. Poppy was vomiting. I didn't want to come down and tell you.
Yeah.
She's like,
Thanks.
she heard that you were playing like League solo just by
League
yourself.
by
It
myself.
disgusted her.
We also have a YouTube. John will surely have a Smolder wrap up there soon, right, bub?
Yeah.
No, he's not. But he does
like
have some
that.
other parody songs if you want to take a listen and see some lovely clips of our beautiful faces.
And if anybody wants to record the vocals for the Natalie Portman rap that I wrote, I really want to get that recorded.
As long as I get to do the 2.0 one.
You can do the 2.0. I wrote a great rap for Karma that goes along to the Natalie Portman rap, but now no one will record it. So
I just have
if
to
you wanna
familiarize
record it-
myself with the song, and I keep forgetting that it exists. Sincere apologies.
this was over a year ago.
It's been.
There's a lot going on.
I'm raising your daughter. We also have a Discord. You want to jump in, find some people to play League with, and chat about League stuff or life? Join the Discord.
You want some chill vibes?
You got some chill vibes. We'll smoke you up. No.
Smolder you up.
We have a Patreon. We very recently recorded us reacting to the Invitational, which was a lot of fun and silly. Did we do something else? No, not yet.
We got some impressions coming out soon.
We do have some impressions coming up soon, yeah. Although we have been saying that for a while now, and we keep having to put it off.
The schedule keeps, yeah.
Yeah, life comes at you fast. Thanks so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons, King of Hearts, Mr. Dead, and John Has a Dig Bick. If you were all dragons in Camivore and I was Camivorian, even after the kingdom went to shit, I'd keep bringing you livestock and treasure because you deserve
Pretty
it.
good.
You know what I've just thought
Deserving.
of? So, like, there had to be, like, humans left in Camivore, right? For a while. Do you think the dragons just started to eat them after the king left?
Probably.
Like, they didn't know
Yeah.
how to hunt. They weren't getting livestock anymore, so they just started eating the people there.
Yeah. Camivorians probably had a rough time of it because they also probably were like, tried to move in to other countries and the other countries like, hey, fuck right off,
Yeah,
Camivore.
fuck off. Yeah, you're not coming here.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I think people got eaten by dragons.
Anyway, as we already mentioned already, please join us next week for a very long episode as we talk about the Machine Herald, Victor,